Hello, what's up YouTube? Running with another tutorial, and in this tutorial I want to show you how I did the color grading for this very image. And for those that always ask me, even when I mention it in the title, this is capture one. So this is capture one, so I just hope you don't ask about the software I use to color grade. This is capture one 2020. Yeah, it is capture one 2021, and that's the version I'm going to be using for this very color grading process of this very image. And we're just going to be using two adjustment layers to color grade the image from looking like this to this look. Just look at what we have after color grading. So stick around till the very end of this video, and if at all you like it, don't forget to hit the like button and drop a comment in the comment section rather, and don't forget to subscribe and recommend this video to people who are interested in learning. So like I said, we're going to be using two adjustment layers, and you can see right here I have two adjustment layers. So I'm just going to come and hit reset so that I can reset the image to its default, and I turn off the before and after option right here. And for those that want the interface to be like this, the way I have mine, you can simply come to window, workspace, and you come down to migration, and you'll have it the way Camera Raw or even Lightroom is. So what I'm going to do, and if at all you're missing any other tool rather here, just simply right click and you come to add tool, and you can add whichever tool you're missing. So the very first thing I do when or before color grading is I first of all correct the lighting issues and the contrast issues in the image. So I'm just going to come to the high dynamic range, and I take down my highlights and also do the same for my whites, because this highlight or this hotspot right here was a little bit too much for my liking. And after doing that, I come and add a slight bit of contrast, and before I open up my shadows, I come to my levels and just intensify my darks just like that. And you can see as we're intensifying the darks, it really loses out on the detail in the shadow areas. So in order to recover that, I'm going to come back to the shadows and simply open up my shadows just like that. So I will open them slightly and add a tiny bit of clarity to the image. And basically that is it for the basic color or lighting correction issues. So I feel like it is a little bit overexposed. Just going to take that down by stop. So this looks good. And now the next thing is going to be color grading. Remember, one trick you should always understand in color grading is you shouldn't do the color grading on your footage itself. So right now we don't have footage and we're dealing with capture one, and this is a photo. So meaning we just have to create a new field adjustment layer on which we are going to be color grading, and later on after color grading we can come and tweak or change those color values on the image. So we're just going to come right here to, you can see we also have layers in capture one. So this is the layer panel or dialog box. So simply come the plus icon and right click and come to new field adjustment layer. And when you create that, so this is the layer on which you are going to be doing the color grading. You can rename it to color grading. So you double click and rename that. So after doing the renaming process, we're just going to scroll all the way down. The reason for creating a new field adjustment layer, we want the color grading to affect the image on a global basis. So after that, we're just going to scroll all the way down to where it says color editor. So this is color editor, and under color editor we have skin tone right here. So just come and left click on the eyedropper tool, and after left clicking here, you can now zoom in and you look for an area within the skin that is going to represent the color grading on the rest of the photo. So that area of the skin, I'm just going to sample this area right here because that is close to the model's skin. So just going to sample that area. You left click to sample, and when you sample, and zooming out is command minus. So after sampling, when you come and you turn on the view selected color range option, you can see it automatically turns the unsampled areas into black and white, and this is the selected color range. So the only selected area is going to remain with the color displaying in the image. So when you turn it off, you'll get back the rest of the colors that had been deactivated from the selection. So we're just going to start color grading this very image and unifying the skin tones. So let me first of all zoom in right here. You can see we have a little bit of yellows, magentas, some random colors within the skin. So we're just going to come to the uniformity slider, and we're going to take the uniformity slider up just like that. And that looks great, around 83. And we are also going to take up the saturation of this very image just like that. So at around 76 we are good to go. So after doing that, the next thing we want to handle, I'm just going to zoom out, command minus, so that I can look at the image or at the photo from a distance. So you can see that we have another option that says amount, and under amount, what we're going to do, you can see when we take the hue towards the left hand side, it is going to add magentas within the image, and taking it towards the right hand side, it is going to add more greens within the image. So for this case, I'm just going to add greens within the skin tone because I felt like the skin was going all leaning more on to the magenta side, and I feel like the skin is a little bit oversaturated, so I'm just going to take the saturation just down, just like that. So that looks okay to me. And I'm going to come to the lightness and simply darken the skin tone just like that. So right now we are almost there. So after doing all this, I'm going to come back to the basic option, and I'm going to come to my oranges. And under oranges, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the hue of the oranges towards the yellow side, just like that. So at around this looks great, and just come the saturation and just turn down the saturation just a little bit, not too much, and come to my lightness and simply darken that orange color. So right now the skin is looking great and looks awesome. So we still have magentas, especially in the blacks of the image. So in order to eliminate those colors, we are going to come to the color balance option within Capture One. So in the shadow area, we are going to add a little bit of the cyans. So when you click in the middle and you drag this around the photo, just look at how it transforms the image. So for this case, I just want to add a little bit of cyans, and this controls the intensity. So when you take this up, the intensity is going to be too much, and this circle is going to be drawn towards the edges, and when you take it down, it's going to reduce on the intensity of that particular color. So I'm just going to add a little bit of that color, and that is a little bit too much, and that looks great. So I'm going to come to my midtones rather and add a little bit of oranges to the midtones. Just that looks great, and this is okay. And after that, I'm going to come to the highlights and simply add a little bit of greens to my highlights. So that is too much, so come right here and reduce on the intensity or the saturation of that specific color. So this looks great. So after we have done the color grading of this very image, let's see the overall before and after by turning this on and off. So this is the before and this is the after, and when you feel like the color grading is a little bit intense, you can come to the opacity and turn down the opacity of the overall color grading process. So let's see the overall before and after for the color grading. So turn this on and just look at the before and after. Look at what we have just achieved in Capture. And so this is how I do color grading in Capture. And if at all you have loved this, don't forget to like this video, and don't forget to subscribe this channel if at all you have been watching and you're not subscribed this channel. Ronix from Ronix Photography. Thank you for watching, and see you in yet more amazing tutorials. And don't forget to keep practicing and also keep creating.